Hello and welcome to my channel. Here you just don't learn how to write smart contracts in Solidity. You also learn how to exploit opportunities on the blockchain. One of such opportunities is called yield farming. Yes, we'll be writing smart contracts that allow us to yield farm with leverage on a protocol called Moonwell. Moonwell is living on base Ethereum layer 2 blockchain. So we'll be exploiting the opportunities together. To start with, this will be a series of video. So I would encourage you to like and subscribe so that you get notified when I release subsequent videos. Yield farming basically entails depositing a token or a coin for a period of time, and as a reward from that protocol, you get another token. So it's similar to farming. You plant a seed and you get fruits as your reward. So let's jump to the Moonwell protocol and see the opportunities we want to exploit together. So Moonwell allows you to supply assets like USDC, Coinbase Bitcoin, Ethereum, Coinbase ETH, and many assets it allows you to supply and deposit. And as a reward, you'll be getting 5%. All right. Now, these assets you have also supplied would also serve as your collateral because you'll be allowed to borrow against that asset. So you'll be allowed to borrow up to like 80% of your capital. Now, where the opportunity lies is when you supply your assets, for example, USDC, you'll be getting 5% return on the capital you have supplied. But when you borrow against it, you only pay 4.3%. Invariably, you are getting you are getting 5% from the protocol and you are only paying 4.3% back. That's 0.7% profit for you. So how is that possible? Let's look at it together. If you over this icon, you'll see that the base APY, the interest you are being paid in USDC is 3.39, but the protocol has a well token a token called well, and you get additional 1.64%. So in total, that's 5.03%. Now, when you come to borrow, you only pay 4.3% in USDC. So it's the additional well tokens you get in reward that makes this profitable. So you can easily get the well's reward, withdraw it, swap it to USDC token, then use it to pay your borrow APY. All you just need to pay attention to over time is how this changes, because if it changes and the borrow APY becomes bigger than supply, you have to sell because it's no longer profitable. You have to actually withdraw your money. Our target is not just 0.7%. Our target is this Coinbase Ethereum. Coinbase Ethereum gives us 2.7% in return and gives us, we only pay 0.1%. So net will be taking in 2.6% of our capital. Now, we are not going to just use our capital. We'll leverage it up by taking flash loan and boosting our capital. So that's what we'll jump on to next, and I'm going to explain how that will work. The overview of what we are going to be building together. It's going to involve two major steps. The first is to deposit with flash loan because we are using leverage. The second will also be to repay our whatever we have borrowed with flash loan. So let me show you the overview of the first. So this is what it's going to look like. Let me zoom in to make it better. All right. So here, the first thing is the Moonwell protocol that has the supply token side and the borrow side. All right. That's the Moonwell that we'll be interacting with. Then this is the Aave protocol where we are going to be taking flash loan. If you don't know about flash loan, please watch my video on multi-dex arbitrage bots. I'm going to leave the link to that video there. It forms the basis to what we are going to be doing here. So the first thing is we are going to deposit a small money that we have. Let's say we have 3 Coinbase ETH. All right. So I'm just using that for example. We can deposit smaller amounts than that. So we are depositing 3 Coinbase ETH without using any flash loan. We deposit straight into Moonwell. All right. So our supply balance will be three Coinbase ETH. Now, the second step that our smart contract is going to do for us is to take flash loan in WETH wrapped Ethereum, because Aave does not have Coinbase ETH. So we'll take WETH, flash loan in WETH from Aave V3. So let's say, for example, we take as much as 8.5 WETH in flash loan. Then we'll go on Aerodrome V2 swap. So on Aerodrome V2 DEX, we can now swap from WETH to Coinbase ETH. Again, if you have watched my video on multi-DEX arbitrage bots, you would see how we implemented swapping on Aerodrome V2. Again, we are going to do it here. So when we swap, based on the price, I think we'll get about 7 Coinbase ETH. Then we are going to deposit it on Moonwell. So in total, our supply balance will be 10 Coinbase ETH. Now, when we have that, we've been able to leverage our deposits by 3.33x. Now, when we have that, don't forget that flash loan, you have to pay it back within the same block. And every block on Coinbase on base layer 2 is every 2 seconds. So we have to pay this flash loan that we have taken 8.5 worth back within 2 seconds. So we are going to come to the other side of the Moonwell and borrow against our capital. Our capital is 10 Coinbase ETH. We are going to borrow as much as 80% of our capital. All right. So when we do that, we will be able to borrow 8 Coinbase ETH. Then, no, that's the maximum. 8 Coinbase ETH is the maximum. We are going to borrow 7.2, just 7.2, just below our 80% threshold. Then when we are going to now swap on Aerodrome V2 again and convert it to worth. So it's now 8.7 worth based on the exchange rate. That is sufficient for us to repay our flash loan and 0.05% fee for collecting the flash loan on Aave. So once we have done that, we've been able to complete the first step. Our leverage is 3.3x. Our health factor, which is calculated by your deposit divided by your the borrow amount, will be greater than 1. So we are quite okay with our health factor. Pay attention to the health factor. Our health factor must always be greater than 1. If at any time our health factor is less than 1, the protocol will seize our collateral, that's our deposit. It will sell it and use it to repay our loan, because that means that our loan is bigger than the supply, the deposit, our collateral. And for the Moonwell protocol to remain solvent, it would never allow such thing. I don't think 1 is actually this threshold. I think it's around 1.05 or 1.1. So that's the risk we are taking here. So let's move on to the second one. Let's move on to the second step, which is repay with flash loan. So let's say after a while, after a month, we want to close our position in Moonwell protocol. Now, don't forget that at this point we don't have money in our wallets to repay the flash loan, to repay the amounts we have already borrowed. So let me just zoom in so that you can see the steps we are going to take to repay what we have borrowed. So again, we are going to come to Aave and we are going to collect flash loan. So we collect flash loan that is sufficient to pay what we have borrowed. In this case, we have borrowed about 7.2 Coinbase ETH. That's what we borrowed. So we are going to, the equivalent in worth would be about 8.7 based on the current price. 8.7 worth, that's wrapped Ethereum. So we are going to go to Aerodrome V to swap it to Coinbase ETH, then repay the 7.2 Coinbase ETH we get to what we borrow. So after we do that, Now we need to repay the flash loan immediately. So again, we'll now come to the supply side of Moonwell protocol, get our deposited capital, which is 10 Coinbase ETH. We'll come back, then swap some of it to Coinbase ETH. So swap some of it from Coinbase ETH to wrapped Ethereum. In this case, let's say it's 8.8 wrapped Ethereum. So we'll take it here, we'll use it to pay the flash loan and 0.05% fee for collecting the flash loan. Then our initial capital of 3 Coinbase ETH goes back to our wallet. So now, in the whole process, we are going to claim our reward because we have supplied, for supplying 10 Coinbase ETH, we've been getting about 2.7% return on our deposits, and we've also been getting some reward. So everything in Moonwell token and in Coinbase ETH, we are going to claim it by calling claim reward on Moonwell protocol, and we'll get everything in our wallet. So basically, that's how the second step works. At this point, if you are enjoying this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It goes a long way in helping me to bring content like this to you. Now, if you're a business and this looks like an idea you want to incorporate into your business, or you have any other idea and you want to put on the blockchain, just check the description of this video and book a call directly with me, and we'll take it from there. If you're a parent or you always have children around you, you need to check SeekerQuest out, seekerquest.com. It allows you to generate fun and educative activities for your kids. So it allows you to add profiles for your children depending on their age group. You can select game or math or brain teaser, riddles, or puzzles for them, and select difficulty level. Then you can generate an activity that helps them to learn while they're having fun. Now you can even share their response with us, and their response will be validated with AI. So it's quite interesting. Now you can also share this response if you're impressed with what they have done or what they have created, because you can also upload a picture. Then you can share this on the WhatsApp or other platform with family and friends to see how well they are doing. So you really need to check out seekerquest.com. It's still in beta phase, but please check it out. You don't need to sign up, but we encourage you to sign up. It allows you to access all the features of the platform. To the idea and get started. Since we are going to be using Flash Loan to leverage our position, the first place and the best place for us to start is to get a smart contract that will allow us to get Flash Loan from Harvey and also repay it. And this was exactly what we built in the part 1 and part 2 of multi-dex arbitrage bots. So if you have not watched that video, I would encourage you to go back and watch the multi-dex arbitrage bots part 1 and part 2 video. I'm going to leave the link to those videos in the description below. So we built these contracts, multi-dex. You can see all the functionalities: start arbitrage, execute operation, withdraw functions that we built there. So quickly, let's check if it's still compiling. I'm going to write forge build. Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Compiles well. All right. So the next thing is, of course, we are not going to call it multi-dex, but so I'm going to start changing the name. So this will name the contract to Moonwell Supply Borrow. I've changed the start arbitrage function to repay or supply assets with flash loan. Execute operation function still remains there. You can see I didn't change anything except the names. Now, please feel free to pause this video and rename your contracts. This way, it makes it easier for you to follow me. All right. Now, I went to the deploy script and I also renamed the deploy script to deploy Moonwell Supply Borrow. Again, it's just for the name to conform with what we are doing. Then the interaction script that we wrote in multi-dex arbitrage bots video. I rename it from start arbitrage to execute supply assets with flash loan. We have that script. Get wet contract script. I have also done a bit, rename this function to fund our contract. All right. So then the final thing I need you to pay attention to is our command in the make file. So we have the deploy command, which I have renamed it according to the new names. Execute supply is how we start the the supply, the deposit, and the get wet. Again, feel free to pause the video and rename your contracts accordingly. We are using Foundry and we are forking base mainnet locally to test our contracts. If everything still works, so I'm coming back here now. Let me start my terminal. Here is my terminal. I'm going to run the command. Okay, let me start the local blockchain now. Make Anvil. This is how you start your local blockchain on Anvil. After you have written your make file must be written this way. All right, so it's on now. We are up and running. Now let's now deploy our contracts. Now this is the command we use to deploy the contracts. So I'm going to run make deploy to deploy our contract. So it's going to deploy our contract and put it on our local blockchain. We can follow it here and see, yeah, the transaction receipt is here. That means it has successfully deployed our contract. So it has deployed it, and this is the contract address. So let's try and fund our contracts, make get worth. That's the command. The maker file makes a whole lot of things easier. Otherwise, you would have had to write this long command. All right, so make get worth is going to wrap the free Ethereum we were given here. It's going to wrap 100 of it to wrapped Ethereum and fund our contracts with it. All right, so got worth balance 100. So far everything seems to be working. So let's try execute supply. So far what we've implemented on execute supply is just for the contract to take flash loan from Aave and repay it and pay the flash loan fee too. That's all. We've not put our strategy. So I'm going to run make execute supply. Now fingers crossed. Hopefully everything runs well. You can also follow it in our contract. You can see it's running in our blockchain. You can see everything seems to be running. Okay, it's still on. Yeah, transaction receipt is here. Let's see here. Now we have, yes, yield farmer. This is the balance. We have about 99.99 wrapped Ethereum after collecting the flash loan and repaying it. So we are up and running. Our contract is good to go. Now we can now implement our strategy. Now